So I've been getting a lot of pushback on social media from people who say that I am fear mongering and I'm just going for a shock and awe strategy with the present administration. Frankly, though, have a little bit of self introspection here and take a step back. What is the strategy of the present administration? It is shock and awe. It is fear mongering. It is throw all this stuff at you and just get you astonished. Oh no, our government's been so corrupt for all this time. And I'm like, yeah, yeah, that doesn't surprise me a bit. In fact, they're telling you too little. They're telling you way too little. And if you're not awake to this reality, then you're just living a self-deception. And if you think that they're not in on it, take a step back. By their fruits ye shall know them. What's Elon Musk been threatening to do with the Doge dividend? That's a universal basic income kind of a stipend. And I've been warning people for years that Elon Musk is a socialist because he's been threatening to do that. You don't threaten to do that if you're not a socialist. And same thing with Donald Trump. He didn't just threaten, but he did. He actually sent out stimulus checks during the pandemic. That is socialism. You don't do that if you're not a socialist. If it quacks like a duck, these guys are socialists. I've been saying this for years. And you've just gotten so used to it. Americans, and especially Republicans, have a huge blind spot here because we've gotten used to this. It's been normalized already. And you know this. You know that, with the corruption in USAID. USAID is an intrinsically corrupt organization because you do not just go and funnel money into foreign countries and organizations through our government, through taxpayers. That inherently invites corruption, fraud. It is corruption. Let's just put it that way. You just don't do that unless it's actually for a legitimate defense alliance, right? And even there, right, it needs to be a partnership that's above board, where Congress is actually telling us where the money's going, right? And so having an agency that can just funnel money to foreign projects, that's money laundering by definition, guys. And he says he wants to keep it. And he says, I think it was poorly implemented, right? So he's keeping the instrument of corruption and just using it for his own purposes instead of for the Democrat Party's purposes, right? And the Democrats and Republicans have been in on it, and they still are. There's no good reason to suppose that has changed just because they're exposing this, but they're keeping it. You see that every single time with inflation and all this, the corruption in the Federal Reserve. Who knows what we're going to see in Fort Knox? They're keeping it, guys. Like, this is not complicated to figure out. By their fruits you shall know them. They're trying to earn your trust through these shock and awe strategies, and they themselves are in on it. Same thing with globalistic projects like the Gaza Strip and so on. So, wake up.